Yes, sir, we are just joined by the Secretary of Sri Lanka Rugby, Mr. Thusitha Peiris, right after the annual general meeting of Sri Lanka Rugby. A very good afternoon, and thank you for joining us, Thusitha.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure.
The annual general meeting was just completed. Are you happy with the proceedings and how it went about?
Well, actually, as far as Sri Lanka Rugby Constitution is concerned, term of office bearers is a 2-year term. So this particular year, it was just a ratification of the committee and also adopting the accounts and getting the accounts passed, and also ratifying the other statutory committees that need to be appointed. So yes, we had I'm very happy that I was able to see all 3 trustees and so many life members and past presidents coming in for this meeting, and it's encouraging sight to see that still people are still interested and supporting the cause of rugby.
Looking at the administration part of Sri Lanka Rugby in general, are you happy with how the proceedings have gone over the year? What are the difficulties you have come about, and what are the improvements you as the Secretary are looking forward to make in the future?
Well, actually, it was a challenge this year for us, and we did make some changes with regard to the format of the league to make it more attractive, and I'm very pleased to say that the top 4 teams this season had a very good chance of becoming the champion side. So these were some of the decisions, hard decisions we had to take, and we had to also go to courts because one particular club was not in agreement with this setup. But ultimately, we came to a settlement. But the final end result was that we had a very competitive tournament. If you compare the last year's points table, the gap between number 1 and number 2 was about over 10 to 12 points. This time it was just 1 point, and between second and to 5, it was between 2 to 3 points. So that is one of the biggest achievements during our last tenure, was to make the league more competitive. I would not be happy to say the same about the schools rugby, because although it's not coming under our purview, but it's run with the blessings of Sri Lanka Rugby. But there is a lot of improvement, a lot of room for improvement, and I honestly feel that that school unions will work with us and make this schools league a more attractive and a more structured in terms of the requirements of the World Rugby is being, spotlessly covered at all aspects.
Yes, in the recent past in schools rugby, we have seen a lot of disciplinary problems also crop up with players and referees, etc. Does Sri Lankan rugby in general have any authority or hold over it, or does Sri Lanka schools rugby has to handle all those problems when it crops up?
Well, as you know, as per the new constitution, Schools Rugby Union representative is one of the vice presidents of Sri Lanka Rugby. So we have made the forum, we have opened it out for the Schools Rugby Union to work closely with the Sri Lanka Rugby. But unfortunately, vice versa, I would not agree, because I don't think we have been invited for their meetings or anything like that. But nevertheless, their tournament is run with the blessings of Sri Lanka Rugby. So we have to approve the tournament regulations and the rules. So once we got that approval, directly or indirectly, we are part and parcel of that. We have to take the part and parcel, at least part of the responsibility. So we can't walk away with that. So therefore, we need to make sure that we take a strong stand on this matter and make sure that this tournament is run professionally as per the World Rugby regulations.
Yes, also President Mr. Lasitha Gunaratne mentioned in his address at the annual general meeting that he will be looking forward to be involved in the schools rugby sponsors process, where there has been a lot of neglect in the past few years, and it has not been very productive. So that Sri Lanka Rugby will get involved in those discussions and try to get in better revenue for schools rugby. I think that is the way to go forward, isn't it?
Yes, because our intention is not to get involved with their funding. Our intention is mainly to make sure that the age groups have been given an opportunity. So every player's dream is to represent the country. to wear the national crest. It's a right of theirs, and due to a lack of funds or lack of commitment, and if that opportunity is not given to them, it's a crime. So what we are trying to get is, okay, you get the sponsor for the tournament and to run the tournament, we have no issue, but make sure that you also cover in the sponsorship, cover the age group also, so that we can send them overseas to participate in international events and get much needed exposure. And at the end of the day, the future of rugby relies on the continuity. If we cannot get the school level to continue rugby, and if there is no attraction apart from 8 clubs, then ultimately rugby is the loser.
Finally, Mr. Thusitha, Peiris, in the coming year, what would you like to see Sri Lanka Rugby gain on and off the field? Where would you like to see them move forward to?
Definitely our long-term plan would be to make sure that we win a medal at the Asian Games, and we are working towards it, and we are also looking towards assistance from the Ministry of Sports, the National Olympic Committee, to come in and support our program, because it's going to be a 2-year program, and we are looking at segregating the 7 squad, a dedicated 7 squad only for 7s. So for us to keep them going, we also need the coaching team, finances to keep them, and also send them for international tournaments. So our intention is that a goal is, in terms of 7s rugby, to to get a medal in the Asian Games, and with that intention, I am very sure that even the Asian circuit, we will do much better than what we are doing, because shifting from 15s to 7 and 7s to 15s is a big change. Although people think rugby is same, but not anymore. Those days 7s rugby and 15s rugby were more or less in line or equal, but now it's a totally different ball game, and you see now athletics have come into play a lot in 7s. So keeping the athletic ability and maintaining the proper weight and structure is important to win 7s. For 15s rugby, yes, you need body weight, you need heavy boys, you need certain amount of skill. That's a different ball game. So therefore, we also need to look at this aspect in a great detail and make sure that the 7s rugby on the international circuit goes on. And also, we have been very happy that we were able to participate in the 15-a-side tournament this year, and we hope to continue, because you see, our main league is 15s. Our biggest attraction in Sri Lanka rugby is the 15s. So we play over a period of 3 to 4 months of 15s rugby, and if 15s player, especially the front row and the tight boys, big boys doesn't get opportunity to represent the country, they lose interest. So if we don't keep them motivated, the only way to keep them motivated is to give them an opportunity to wear the national jersey. So it is our duty as administrators to give them that opportunity and also allow them to prosper through the national side. So therefore, we want to, whatever the constraints we have, we want to continue the 15-side rugby format to keep the current player base of we have about 120, 150 club players in the league. So if you don't give an opportunity, that is only at top level, but segment B, C, all that is there. So that is going forward, that would be our main focus.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Thusitha Peiris, for joining us for that brief discussion. Wishing you and Sri Lanka all the best for another successful year ahead.
Thank you very much.